Welcome to the We Win in July. Whoa.
It was a little loud. Look,
It was.
shit,
I was
like
kind of
Why are you yelling at
excited.
me?
I was like kind of yelling that. That went off. That start.
Your
Like, is
energy
this how we're going to
level-
do it? Like,
That
we're going to just like yell at each other?
right in.
Okay, I
Let's
love
go.
this. This could be good.
Welcome to the We Win in Injury Law podcast. I'm Tyler, your host, sitting here with Jaron the Snow Canyon Man Sandberg, my co-host.
It's like the ASMR. Like get the nails on the microphone.
This is how we do it.
I love it.
This is how we start.
Let's do it.
So
I did notice that. Yes.
we are so happy to have Officer Mitchell with us from the St. George Police Department as our
Yes.
guest today. Thank you for being here and joining our podcast.
Love to be here. Thank you.
I know. What's our tone? Do we go low? Do we go high? I don't know.
Let's just let it happen.
Let's just go.
Let's
Yeah, just however it plays out. Let's just let
You
it
know,
happen.
I want to say, because this is my normal tone,
Okay.
I've been watching you on Instagram and I think you're amazing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
you probably hear that a lot.
I do. It's hard to believe it sometimes. Like, I think, are you sure? But
Do people come up to you like, hey, I've seen you or I've
all the
recognized
time.
you? Really?
Everywhere I go. Out of town, anywhere I go. Yeah.
No kidding.
Well, like Sunday, I went to 4 stores. 3 out of the 4, someone talked to me to introduce. They either call me Traffic Tuesday or Officer Mitchell. Those are my 2 names.
That's amazing.
So yeah,
well, good
yeah.
for you. That means you're doing a great job.
thank you.
And we've seen it. We
Yeah.
try to like
Thanks.
it. We support it. We support obviously what you're doing.
Yeah,
It's critical for our community. And so
Yes.
that they're aware of kind of like, hey, there's an accident here or do this or do this. And this is
Mhm.
kind of what we try to do with our podcast to tell people about like insurances and what it looks like from the eyes of injury lawyers.
sure.
But it's great to have the eyes of you.
Thank you.
And so we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
So we were talking before we started, you've been in St. George about 20 years or so.
Mhm.
You kind of feel like it's home, but you're
Right.
from where?
I'm from Spanish Fork, Utah. So
Okay. And what
Utah
brought
County.
you down?
My ex-husband's work,
Okay.
and it wasn't a hard decision to move down here.
Right.
So, oh shoot, we have to move to St. George.
We have to
All
move
right,
to the
well, we
perfect
vacation
weather.
there. Yeah, let's go. Although we did move the 4th of July, and so that was pretty awful.
Yeah.
So I suggest, like timing's
that was terrible
everything.
timing.
It was
for-
awful, but we survived it and we're good. So
I think that's
Okay.
why they do the Parade of Homes in February,
yeah, yeah.
right? So everyone comes during the perfect weather.
Right. Oh, and realizes this is a great place
This
to
is-
be.
Right.
We're tricking them, aren't
We're
we?
tricking
We're
them.
like, come
for
on
all the
down.
people that are advocating against, like, don't come here, it's getting too crowded, they should really push to move the parade and the marathon to like July.
Right.
And
You-
then
you do
we
those
can
events in
temper
July, you would temper the
move-ins.
maybe it's
Yeah.
not as great as they think it is.
right.
Well, it's good. I mean, move-ins are good, right? But it presents its challenges.
Yeah. I mean, St. George is growing like crazy, and we're just trying to keep up. So everywhere is streets of the city, all of us, fire department, police, everyone's trying to keep up. Even the businesses are trying to keep up to.
What
Yeah.
would you say is the biggest challenge you've seen? I mean, you do Traffic Tuesdays, which
Yeah.
are amazing. What would you say is like the biggest challenge?
So for us, it's traffic, quality of life for people. That's probably the biggest complaint we get, or concerns that people come to the police department for is traffic.
Is it speed? Is it like the traffic signals? What?
Yeah.
All the above?
So we do have a lot of speeding. We have a lot of red light runners that I've seen increase. Like, because I pay attention to it, I've noticeably seen a difference. It's distraction. And people really don't like the yellow turn arrows
Yeah.
that have been recently introduced. There's not that many in Utah. We just happen to be one of those cities that have been introduced to those. And so for some reason, those are really hard for people to finagle. So
Well, it's increased our business. So thank you,
Yeah.
whoever's behind
oh my
that.
gosh. Yeah,
But that is a challenge because we see that all the time with,
Sure.
with accidents
sure.
occurring,
That's it.
failure to yield, right?
Yeah. Failure to yield and following too close right now in the last few months has been the top 2 causes for crashes in St. George.
I would say that's accurate because
Yeah.
every time we get a DI-9, that's typically what we see, failure to
Right.
yield or following too closely.
Right. And following too close, to be fair, those are going to be ones where a collision has been involved because you're following too close and you've rear-ended somebody. So.
Right, right.
Do you think cell phones with the following too close is a major contributor to
I think
that?
so. I think distraction altogether is, but cell phones are definitely a big issue.
I mean, we comment a lot that, you pull up to an intersection and people watch is what
Yeah.
we do
Sure,
for a
I
living.
do too. I
Yeah.
do too.
And you're probably doing the same thing.
Off duty or on duty, I'm doing the same
Right.
thing.
And you're watching and you're going, on their cell phone, on their cell phone, on their cell phone, in every direction.
In fact, when I see someone next to me that's not on their phone, I'm like, oh, wow.
Surprise. Like,
There's one person. Look at this guy over here. Wow.
What's wild is when you see people and you're kind of watching the intersection people go through.
Yes.
Because I do the same thing.
Yes.
You see this as they're driving through the intersection.
Yeah.
Like
it's
the whole way through.
shocking. I can't imagine looking at my phone and driving this, I don't know, 35, I don't know how much cars weigh.
Right.
A lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to be hit by one. And I just can't imagine like having my phone up and driving.
So we would probably tell people, don't do that.
Sure.
Maybe on the back end, keep doing it. It's job security for us.
Right.
Job security, I guess, maybe for you.
Right.
But no, we don't really want to keep seeing that.
But the one thing that we all have to think about in Washington County is the more crashes we have, the more our insurance goes up. And so we're really all being penalized for everyone being bad drivers.
You know what? Yeah. Thank you. That's the first time I've ever heard that. So thank you for saying that. Yeah. You are already a star guest on our show. The insurance aren't going up because of the premiums, not because of injury lawyers.
Not because of injury lawyers.
It's because of the crashes.
Sure. Yeah. It really is that if we could drive better, I mean, that's why we have so many fire departments within the city. You know, it keeps our insurance low, and we could all help each other out if we stopped crashing so often. So.
Well, I mean, and we do sincerely mean that. We hope that people don't need us, and if they do, hopefully they call us, or at least we'll seek out some answers.
Sure.
And that's what you're trying to do, is give as much information as possible out there so people can hopefully drive safely.
Yes.
We're all trying to get from point A to point B safely.
Right.
Nobody knows what's really going on. My sister, she had a tragic incident in her life, and her thing, and now her perspective is, I don't know what's going on in their lives. I don't know what, why, because I see it too, but we've all talked about it.
Sure.
With the following too closely, where you see cars that are just on another car's butt, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, where are you trying to get to?
Where are they trying to get to? And it kills me when they pull into Maverick.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, all of that?
Sure. To get your soda?
To get your soda or whatever, your burrito, and the burritos of Maverick are pretty good.
Okay.
But have you had the burrito Mavericks or the Maverick burritos?
I'm a vegetarian, and so I don't eat good food, as people tell me. So I guess I don't know.
Well, you probably eat better food than
I don't know.
A Maverick burrito.
What's the speeding equivalent to get to a vegan
right, like to a veggie burrito?
Like if we ever see Officer Mitchell speeding, we're like, what? She has to go get her
where's her tofu's on sale somewhere?
What's the salad? She's getting
There's a run on tofu.
Yeah, the rabbit food is on sale, and she must get there right now. Yeah.
You would never, but if we saw you, we'd know there's a run
there's
on.
There's a sell on something. Yeah, for sure.
But especially like, I think the statistics are, I mean, you'd have to go pretty fast for a pretty long time to really make that much of a difference. I mean, if you go 10 over all through St. George, you cut your trip by 3 minutes.
Yeah, a few minutes.
You maybe beat a couple of lights.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, most of the lights are timed so that if you catch a green light at the first, like maybe say the bottom of Bluff, and you stay the speed limit, you should hit green all the way.
Right.
They're kind of timed that way.
Oh, interesting.
And by speeding, you might run into more traffic congestion and stops.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Officer Mitchell, what motivated you, inspired you to become a police officer?
I have always wanted to do it since I was a little kid. The need to help. I don't know. My first grade teacher told my mom that she thought I took care of kids in heaven because I was just like the mother, and now I'm the mother of the PD, they tell me, because if they need an aspirin or whatever they need, I've got it.
You're there.
Yeah.
But just that need to help, that need to be involved in something bigger than myself. And I think the camaraderie and the bond that we have with one another is really crucial for me too.
That's awesome. How long have you been a police officer?
11 years.
Okay.
Yep. So I went through the police academy at 40. So most people are retiring, and I'm just like, woohoo, here we go.
Let's go.
I was going to put you way younger in that, just FYI.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
Because I was trying to track the timeline. Yeah. So way younger.
So my kids were a little older. I waited till they were a little older, and then I went for it.
Yeah. So that's part of my question. So at that, obviously a little older than typical, right? That was what inspired you then at that moment. Was that just... I had ran into a sergeant that I had known. I worked for Dixie Ambulance, and they went out of business. And I just ran into one of the sergeants, and I said, I really want to do what you're doing. He's like, well, we're accepting applications. Go home and fill one out. So I went home and I filled it out, and I was like, I got it all done. And I'm like, I'm 40.
I got 4 kids. What am I doing? I turned the computer off and I just thought, I'm not doing that. This is crazy. Go to Target the next day and I ran into him again. And he's like, did you fill it out? And I said, no, I didn't. And he goes, go home, go do it. And I did it. And there were like 69 applicants. I ranked in the top 5, ended up being the 3 out of 69, and the rest is history.
That's amazing.
And I've never ran into that sergeant at Target again. So I think it was serendipitous. So anyway, yeah. So that's kind of, it just happened and it was awesome. And it's just been the best.
And well, so when you when you started out, were you in this current position as the information officer?
No, you go to patrol. So I was on patrol. I was loving it. Patrol is the best. Every day is different. You don't know what your day is going to be like. You're never bored. You have the freedom to kind of proactive police or respond to calls, and it's fantastic. And so in 2018 in May, I won Officer of the Year and just flying high, loving it. And then in July, they came to me and said, what do you think? And I think it's like a church calling. I don't know, where you don't say no. You go, well, I guess you're asking me. I better do it.
Sure.
And
that's
so
great.
I did that. I've been doing it since 18, I believe.
Well, you win Officer of the Year. Well, if you don't win it every year after that, then you feel like it's a point.
I know, what's the point, right?
Maybe it was a little better that you switched.
So I did patrol for 3 years, and then I've been doing this for over 7. So, yeah.
And I do hear that some prefer patrol just because of the excitement.
Yeah.
Have you?
Oh, I miss it.
Do you miss it?
Yeah. I get to go play every once in a while, and yeah, it's a good time.
Well, I would say it's a good decision because, like I said, we've watched you. I think the community and. Have you noticed anybody like recognize you from outside of St. George? Do people watch from like northern Utah?
Actually, there was someone in Mesquite. I went into a business there and he's like snapping his fingers at me. And he's like, I know you. And I was like, I don't know. I said, do you like cops? That's my first question is, do you like cops? Because I don't know if I should tell you or not.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you're Officer Mitchell. I knew it. But
so instantly knew it.
Yeah, I've been out on Quell paddleboarding. Officer Mitchell. Traffic Tuesday. And I'm like, hey, cool. Hi. So
that is so great.
Yeah. It's good, but it makes me be on my toes all the time because not everybody are fans. And so you still have to be very careful.
You mean there are people that aren't fans of cops?
I don't know. You might have met some, but yeah.
Well, we're in an industry that we're just universally loved. Everyone loves injury attorneys.
Yes.
They
just car salesmen, all of those things. Yeah. You're all in that group.
They love us.
Dentists. Yeah. I don't love the dentist.
People are like, I'm so glad I get to call you.
Yeah.
And there's no jokes about us.
Ever.
There's no jokes about us either.
Never.
Really. So yeah, we're in that perfect profession, right?
Yeah.
Love hate.
Yeah, insulated from all of that.
Sure.
That's great.
That is too funny. Well, I want to emphasize, I think it is amazing.
Thank you.
And it really is inspiring. And part of what we've done with this podcast and is inspired by what you're doing with the St. George PD Instagram.
Thank you.
So thank you for that.
Great.
And Chief Whitehead said something, we had him on on one of our other podcasts that I think is really neat. He wanted the people to know, and anyone watching or listening, that you can reach out to the police department. You can reach out to the St. George Police Department. You can feel comfortable that we're here to serve.
Sure.
And I thought that was actually really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we do live in a beautiful state. We live in a beautiful community.
Right.
And having that kind of comfort and just kind of knowing that what you guys are doing is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. A huge part of our department is community policing, and we absolutely need the community. There's no way we could do it without them.
Right.
You know, if they chose to not want to be a part and to do good things, you know, it would be really difficult for us, but our community makes it very easy to police.
That's awesome.
And be in law enforcement in this area.
Well, and we talked about, and those challenges will continue to increase as more people move into Utah and southern Utah.
Sure.
A big part of obviously what we do are car accidents. Mm-hmm. You know, we handle cases as injury lawyers from premises liability, slip and falls. Most people refer to them as slip and falls, dog bites, some medical malpractice, but a big majority of what we do are car accident cases.
Sure.
So from the St. George Police Department and what you've seen, when there is a car accident that comes into the department or dispatch or however, what is like the response if it's like a fender bender or like a serious crash? Like, is there any distinction that's made, and do they send different officers out depending on?
Sure. If it's a fender bender and it's maybe blocking, a big intersection, we'll try and get photos really quick and get them to move out of the way. Where bigger ones require more resources, and so whatever resources we need, we get there, find out what we need, what happened, what's going on, and then just divide and conquer. We work very well with fire and EMS, and so our response is dictated by what kind of how big of the crash is.
Sure.
So I don't know if you know this, but we divide our calls between, we call it a PD, which is a property damage call, and a PI, which is a personal injury. And so most of us, when we hear a PI, it perked our interest, and we kind of look at that and go, can I go? Am I close to that? Because that means somebody's hurt, first of all. And second, it's probably going to be impacting traffic, and they're going to need some resources and some help.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's because when claims are made with our clients, there's always a PD,
yes,
property damage claim, and there's always, we're the PI lawyers, right?
Sure.
But we call them BI.
Oh, okay.
So the bodily injury claim.
Oh, okay. So
similar. Close. Yeah, very similar. So when we talk to adjusters, we're always trying to identify who's the property damage adjuster,
sure,
and who's the BI adjuster. And then there's different roles. And some companies, depending on the size, if it's, the big dogs like
sure,
Allstate, State Farm,
sure,
they do have multiple adjusters. If it's smaller companies, then they typically have the same adjuster for the PD and the BI.
And they handle both.
And they handle both. Okay. But most people just don't even know that.
Right.
And so
that's I didn't know that.
Yeah. Do you know what PIP is?
I've heard of PIP. Does that have something to do with what you owe and what? No.
Nope.
Okay.
So PIP,
I don't know what PIP
is. That's okay. That's good. See, Traffic Tuesday, maybe an idea for you.
All right.
Personal injury protection benefits.
Oh, okay.
So everyone has personal injury protection benefits on your policies.
Okay.
And as long as they have a Utah policy.
And it's totally okay that you don't know, because there's lots of people we deal with in this business that still don't know what that means.
So you want to increase that, I'm guessing.
We want people to know. So when there is like a PI or a BI call, that they know that they have PIP protection on their own policies.
Oh, wow.
So there's only 13 states in the country that do it, and Utah's one of them. And I believe, I didn't talk to the legislatures that passed it, but I believe they did it because, hey, when insurance companies are trying to identify and police reports are being prepared, who's at fault?
Yeah. Yeah, we try not to use the word fault, but it's the person, most responsible for the collision. Yeah.
Yeah, we know we focus in on what you guys do too, though, because as soon as you list someone as vehicle number one, we know that normally that's the largest. Not always. I mean, we've had it go other ways, but
sometimes it's a little difficult to know, but
and there's times where the officers have really just said, look, we arrived after the fact. There's no other witnesses. Both drivers have conflicting stories, and they'll put in there, look, we don't know who really caused this accident.
That does happen sometimes,
But most of the time, it's pretty apparent from who's vehicle one, and rear end collision, and they've got a good little map of it.
Sure. That's why cameras in your car, dash cams, can always be so helpful. Now more than ever, because you just don't know. I mean, if there's no one else around, and there's no cameras to have recorded it.
And that's our next goal, is to get dash cams in every car. Yeah. We've got to figure that out.
Well, and the Teslas have been kind of, we've got quite a few cases with Teslas now where the Tesla records it, and so we've got the footage of
Isn't that nice? You're like, wow.
Yeah, thank you for that.
All handed to us.
And in one of them, this was Utah Highway Patrol that took the case, though, but ended up being a road rage incident, and it was all proven by the Tesla cameras, filmed this person like brake checking and swerving into the lanes and everything. It was all caught on camera by the Tesla car. So
awesome.
That's great advice that people need. Yeah. I think people should get them because, they're not that hard to install.
Right.
And, I think most of them have like about a week of footage, and then they just, if you're in an accident, then you download it. But
it's helpful. It's helpful for sure. Now, did they call you to the scenes? I mean, you are kind of like the most known.
Sure.
Do they call you typically at all?
Sometimes they will. Like if it's really going to impact traffic, sometimes they don't think about it because it's just too busy. They've got other things to think about. But a lot of the times they'll call me. Or if I'm at home, they'll say, hey, Tiff, we have this going on. Will you put something out really quick? And it just takes a second. But a lot of it is just me watching CAD, watching our system to see what's going on and go, this could probably be significant for not only for that, but just kind of the lessons learned. And people like to know what's going on.
For sure.
They like to know what's happening in their city. And I like them to see what law enforcement's doing and how we handle these kinds of things.
Well, and how we're responding, how we're like treating it, and then advising, hey, avoid River Road or this intersection or whatever it might be. Yeah.
Avoid it. And then, this is what caused it. This is, it's always about education for me. I don't want to put anything out that doesn't have something that's teaching them something they need to know to help them be better behind the wheel.
Right. Do you guys get annoyed? This is kind of just a personal. Do you guys get annoyed with like the looky-loos, the rubberneckers?
Yeah, they can be dangerous. They can be dangerous. That's what, when I was talking with one of the motor officers, I'm like, what do you see that's such a danger when we're on scene of these big crashes? He said, people with their phones, they want to record what's going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but yeah, the looky-loos and they're on their phones and
I drive by like this. I'm like,
I know. Me too. I'm like, I want to know, and I don't want them to know I'm looking. I know. Yeah. Me too. But yeah, they're frustrating. They're frustrating because they slow everybody down. And then when you guys aren't
looking, we're throwing the cards out.
Are you?
just just in
trying
case.
to hit them.
You're like, hey.
But only the person getting put in the ambulance.
Yeah, would that be appropriate? Really, we're like, hey, can you hand our cards out immediately?
Yeah, they would shine. Yeah, they would say, don't do that.
Probably don't do that.
Don't do that.
I will say that the ones I enjoy the most though are these. There are a series of videos where they've just got on a collision and people yell at them, "You can't park there."
I have seen a few of those lately. They're pretty funny.
Those are great.
And like they run after them because then they're swearing at them. Yeah. They're like, wait, get back.
But from a public safety position, probably wouldn't recommend filming and rubbernecking.
No, please don't.
Yeah. What would you say the biggest risk to your officers are when they respond to an accident?
Yeah, it's being out in traffic and people not paying attention because they're so excited to see what's going on. We're so curious as humans. We want to know all the things. And so it's just people just not paying attention and
we're drawn to it. Yeah. You guys, you're trying to like lock down the scene and get witness statements or move cars and and everyone's just trying to like see how gruesome it could be or what's,
right. They do. They really do that. And I get it. I mean, we're all curious. We've all driven by and go, I wish I knew how that happened or whatever. But
it's like the legal shows and the cop shows, right? I mean, do you like cop shows now or do you?
No, I don't like, no. Now, like Dateline and stuff like that, I love. But my husband's like, let's watch this. I'm like, you know what? I'll just go to work tomorrow. That's fine. I don't need to watch it. Yeah.
Like 911.
Yeah.
I think it's called 911, the show.
Where they just sent the officers to space.
I have not seen that.
There's the new season, I'm pretty sure episode 1 is they've sent them to space.
But like NYPD Blue or stuff like you don't like that stuff, yeah.
Not that I don't like it.
But
I just,
it's hard
we don't like lawyer shows.
No.
The same way.
I would imagine, because you're going to critique them, right? The whole time you're like, I wouldn't be doing that. That's wrong. They're saying, no.
That would never happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he wants to watch like body cam and it just makes me crazy. And so I just have to say, I have to get up and go out.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of body cam stuff like on TikTok and like Instagram and stuff. You don't like watching.
And there is, sometimes if I can learn from it.
Sure.
But yeah, sometimes it just makes me angry. So, because people are not always compliant. So, sometimes officers do things that I wouldn't do or.
Right.
But even going back to that, we talk about this a lot is like, in the moment is so hard. Like, again, you're judging some officer based on like a heated, what feels like a high stakes moment.
100%.
And so I'm always like, I'm a little bit more to say, probably not that officer's best day when it's on the officer. And same thing with the person being arrested. It's obviously not their best day. And
right.
Well, there was just a TikTok video of an officer. Where was it? Kind of almost like a road rage incident with an officer that I got really frustrated. And I think he kind of got in his car and basically like ran him down. And I know that he's been suspended. And there may be even criminal charges that are probably likely pending.
Sure.
But that's, you guys deal with kind of the worst of the worst. So
yeah, sometimes, and people having the worst day of their life, you know.
Yeah.
And for the most part, people are good. But I feel like since COVID, and we've seen it, there's actually been lots of studies across the country, actually, of people just becoming more aggressive behind the wheel since COVID. I feel like people feel anonymous behind the wheel.
Yeah.
They're a little more selfish, less patient.
Yeah.
And so we're really seeing that across the board.
Well, we definitely see the anonymity when people are picking their nose in public.
I see that.
Yeah.
I feel like Google is like the great, and not just Google, but the internet, right? It's the great kind of killer of patience.
Yeah.
Because we kind of, expect instantaneous results and answers and whatnot. And I feel like, with the car, we have that anonymity where we can kind of do what we want.
Right.
And there's no consequence.
Sure.
And then we can also kind of like, we feel like it's like, it's an extension of our castle, like our home.
Right.
And so then we can, pick our nose or do things or eat or do the makeup and hair or whatever we're doing,
Right.
and just no one can see in.
Sure. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that video of if people behaved like on the sidewalk like they behave in the car. Have you guys seen that video? And it's so funny. I mean, it's two people walking, and then like a person walks up next to behind them, and they're like, "What are you doing? Like, let's go." I mean, come on. Like, I don't understand what's happening, you know, like just being so obnoxious and rude. We would never behave like that with someone on the sidewalk. Right. I mean, I hope we wouldn't. But in our cars, we 100% do that. And it's really funny. You have to search it up, but it's really funny.
That's amazing. That is so true, though.
That's so true. Because you just see people like, you know, there's a left turn heading down Washington Road. You know the one I'm talking about. That sometimes that light takes a while. We both live out in Washington, and I'll see people like flailing their arms, and I'm like, can you imagine if they just did that, like walking down the sidewalk, waiting at a crosswalk, like throwing their arms up, and like so much so that you'll see their car like shifting.
Right.
I'm like, who gets mad enough?
Yeah.
But I just think we see it more with car accidents. We're seeing a lot more where the person's arrested for road rage.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And we do see it more and more, and we've been seeing hit and runs more and more lately.
Agreed.
So I want to ask you about that. Have you seen like an increase in hit and runs?
Yeah, it's shocking. Because, I mean, aren't we Utahns are supposed to be kind? We're supposed to be helpful. I mean, that's what we're known for.
Right.
Being neighborly and watching out for one another. And yeah, that's happening daily. There's 2 or 3 on the screen. It's so shocking to me.
So what happens when there's been a report of a hit and run? What's the response with, how do you guys deal with that?
So we try to get out there as soon as we can. Unfortunately, if it happens in, say, a parking lot, I don't know if I'm giving a secret out for people to do bad things, but most of their cameras on the outside of the buildings only cover the walkway as you're coming from the parking stalls up to the doors of the business. And so it's really hard to get footage.
Typically doesn't extend out into the parking lot.
Yeah, it doesn't extend, and if it does, it's really fuzzy, and so
it
can be hard.
Car,
right.
Don't know.
You don't know.
Well, we just had someone, this is just the other day, walk into our St. George office, and they're like, "Hey, we just saw a hit and run in the parking lot. What do we do?" And
no kidding.
And so I said, "Well, did you get a license plate?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, well, go out and find the person that got hit." But I'm like, make sure they don't think it was you. Right. But give them the information. They're going to need it.
Well, and call the police. I mean, when you leave the scene of an accident, it's a crime, no?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can be charged for that. Your license gets suspended. They can impound your cars, especially if you leave the scene and we find you. It's pretty likely that the officer will impound the vehicle.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We use it as well. I mean, not only are there potentially criminal consequences, obviously, leaving the scene, but we use it as well because against the insurance company, we will then tell the insurance company, look, you have kind of a bad actor behind the wheel.
Sure.
And your bad actor or your insured driver fled from the scene, knew that they had fled from the scene.
Right.
And then, so not only did they cause an accident resulting in injuries, but then they didn't want to take accountability.
Right.
And that's oftentimes what insurance companies try to do is like, oh, we're accountable for this accident, but we didn't cause the injury suffered in this accident. So they try to minimize it that way by, hey, we take accountability, but we didn't cause those injuries.
Sure.
So then when we find out that there was like a bad actor, whether it be like fleeing the scene of an accident or like a DUI or drugs or some level of impairment, then we want to tell that insurance company, you have some heightened issues on your hands because if we present this to a jury may not look very kindly on that person.
Sure.
And rightfully so.
Sure, absolutely.
So that is always helpful to us. And then if there's obviously criminal charges that are filed, then we even use that even more to say, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And did you, insurance company, know of this driving record or history?
When you insured this driver.
That's right. Yeah. So it all plays a role in community safety and what we're doing on behalf of our clients. And everything we're trying to do, obviously, is maximize justice for them.
Sure.
And justice comes in so many different forms, especially the perspective of whoever's seeking it.
Sure.
So it's super important that people know that if you leave the scene of an accident, you could be potentially criminally liable.
Sure, absolutely.
And the severity ranges, I would imagine, right?
I didn't look up the code, but
I don't. Are there? It could be felony. I don't know.
I would have to look.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
We haven't done criminal law in a while.
Yeah.
So
I will tell you. I mean, while we're talking about, let's go over what people need to provide. So you do need to provide your phone number and your name, your insurance information, and your plate number, your registration information. That by law is those things that you have to provide. Now, if that means leaving it on the car because you can't find the owner of the vehicle, I mean, that's the least you should do, and go to more lengths to find that owner.
Ideally, though, they'd call the police, say, hey,
Absolutely.
Look, I hit a car. Can you come get me information and share it with this person?
Yes. Well, and through your driver's license, or your license plate, we should a lot of the times be able to locate the owner of the vehicle, the registered owner at least,
right,
and track them down and get them to come. But
that's good to know, though, because I think people. I just went through this situation. So I think, and even knowing it, it was still kind of like, what are my obligations?
Rights and responsibilities, yeah.
And I think we kind of put up like an immediate wall.
Sure.
When people are asking, I need your license, I need your information. You're like, why do you need that?
Yes.
And so it's good that people know that it is required by law to do so.
Right.
I hit somebody in a parking lot. Not somebody, a car.
Okay.
I hit a car.
It
was better.
Yeah, don't hit the people.
Yeah, I didn't hit the people. It was a car.
Yeah.
But I didn't know, I honestly didn't know I'd hit it. I just bought this car from my dad a few months ago, and he didn't tell me that the front sensor on it was broken.
Oh, shoot.
So when I'm pulling in, and it's like an SUV, so it's a little bigger than I normally drive.
Right.
When I'm pulling in, I'm like, I'm close, but I think I got it.
Sensor's not going off.
Right.
I think I'm okay. And then I was like, did I kiss that car? No. So I back up, I pull into the stall, like straighten up, and I'm, my wife always gets mad at me because I do the back up, get it,
it's got to be straight.
It's got to be straight. So then I get out and I look and I don't see anything. I'm like, I don't think I did. So that's good.
Right.
And I went into this restaurant that I was going in to meet a friend for breakfast. And sure enough, I come out and these women were waiting for me like,
you hit my car.
You hit my car.
Oh, did they see you?
Yeah.
Did they
someone
see it
saw
happen?
Me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm like, I did? Okay, shoot. I thought I may have. I wasn't sure.
Right. There wasn't any damage?
I didn't think so. There was some paint transfer.
Okay.
Admittedly, there was paint transfer. So I did hit her.
Well, it was kind of lower than you had originally looked.
It was lower than I looked. And then because I didn't look at my car because I didn't think I'd hit it. So, when I looked, I'm like, oh, shoot. Yeah, I did. I hit you.
Oh, shoot.
I had no idea. But immediately, even though I was like, I'm so sorry.
Right.
What do you need?
The wall still went up?
The wall still went up of like, why are you asking for my driver?
What do I give?
Right.
Yeah.
What do I give?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's very important, even though I do this every day, it's very important people know you have to give that information.
You do.
To be fair, we deal with it after the fact. Not most people don't call us from the scene of the accident. What do I do? The lawyers.
Yeah.
A couple days later, next day.
Well, we always tell people
we're not the first call.
And we tell people, and I would tell that same woman that I hit, always call the police just to make sure.
Yes.
Now, I mean, I think, and I trust people to kind of make that call if it's not so serious. And it was just paint transfer. And I honestly don't know if she got the car fixed or not.
Mm-hmm.
I just I handed to my insurance. I said, look, I hit her.
Figure it out.
I didn't see that there was significant property damage or any. If there is, and she claims it,
right,
whatever, and that's totally fine. But I think people need to. We try to tell people always call the police. If there's a question, always call the police.
Yeah, and
that way, I think most people try to do the magnanimous thing of, hey, I'll take care of it or whatever, and then they don't. And for whatever reason. So always call the police. Is that fair to say?
No, I would always encourage people to call us, especially if they hand you a paper copy saying their insurance is, I've got from this date to this date. That may not be true.
Right.
Like they could pay for the first couple of months and then stop paying, but the paper says you're good for another 4 months. And so where we can run it through the system and know that they do or they don't have insurance.
Right. And we say it all the time too.
Yes.
And that's one thing we try to tell people all the time. Get uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage because no one can really appreciate, I think,
unless it's
it's happened to you, how many people are driving with elapsed or expired insurance and maybe they don't even know.
Right.
And then if there's an accident causing injuries and you don't have that coverage, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So,
well, and don't you feel like, I feel like the comment we get from people that don't want to call the police is when they're from somewhere else. Hey, I'm from LA, or and they're used to these really long wait times for the police to arrive on scene. I don't feel like we deal with that problem in St. George. It feels like, at least from when we look at the reports and everything, it'll be like the accident happened and 2 minutes later we've got officers on the scene. It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a pretty good response time. On a couple of the freeway accidents we've dealt with, maybe it's been a little longer, but it seems like those are mostly up north. And I feel like in St. George, you guys respond pretty quick.
You guys are amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
And Washington City does a good job. Santa Clara, I mean, all of our local police departments, I think, do a great job. Our northern Utah police departments, I think, do a great job, because we hear with our offices up north, we hear great response times. Every now and then, we're always kind of wondering. I've got a police report once where it said, estimated speed of travel 0. And I'm like, that's interesting. How do we get?
How is their property damage?
How do we get 0? But what? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll ask him in the deposition.
Sure.
But for the most part, you guys do a phenomenal job, and you are a big part of that. And,
Thank you.
And I think you're amazing. In fact, when we were talking about potentially you having on the podcast, I'm like, she's amazing.
Oh, you're so great.
That would be amazing.
Thank you. Thanks.
I want to just congratulate you for all the success you've had, and hopefully that continues. We watch it. Hopefully the people throughout our great state and community are watching it, and it actually helps people to drive more carefully. We hope less injuries, less crashes. We sincerely say that. I doubt that's going to change, for whatever reason, whether it's post-COVID issues or people in a hurry for whatever reason. We don't know their lives, but for whatever reason, it's not. Mm-hmm. So good luck.
Thank you.
With the way you guys continue to handle this.
We'll try.
This increase in populations. Like we said, there's pros and cons with more people moving in to Utah. And it just means our roads are busier and traffic's more congested, and more work for maybe all of us.
Yes.
So,
well, wait, we got to ask her the question, because we asked this to Chief Whitehead.
That's true.
Uh-oh. What's the question?
Favorite donut shop? Come on, we got to go out. If there's one thing police officers are going to get, it's going to be, do you eat donuts? And if you have a favorite. Now, you might not.
Oh, I do. Yeah. But I love the donut holes from Lynn's.
Okay.
Lynn's Bakery.
Now, which kind? Because they
just
make
the glazed.
Just the glazed.
It's got to be the fresh ones.
My kids love the powdered, but they make a fat mess.
Yeah.
But they're good.
It's like Cheetos. You can't get away with eating it and people not finding out.
But now that we have Dunkin' in town, have you converted to the...
I tried Dunkin', but I still love
Lynn's.
I do.
Well, and Lynn's even has
do a good job.
Like a pumpkin spice one they'll do in the fall sometimes, that are those little donut. My kids my kids like the Lynn's donut holes, so you're onto something.
Yeah.
Most scenic drive for you.
So I know you said Southern Utah, and I hope Cedar counts, but I love going up Cedar Canyon, up over past Navajo Lake, and
beautiful drive.
Love it.
It
the
is
pine
beautiful.
trees. If you could see, I have pine trees on my arm. I love them. So
that's awesome.
That's my drive.
I feel like I get myself car sick though driving that S-turn.
Okay, I do freak out about the edge, because I'm first of all, I'm a control freak. Go figure, right?
Yeah.
No,
especially behind the wheel. And so when my husband's driving and we're doing those curves, I'm like, the fear of heights and not being in control. It's a little sketchy.
It can be sketchy.
He hasn't driven us off yet, so.
Hopefully that never happens.
So we're good so far. If not, we'll call you.
But up Cedar Canyon, it's only going to happen once.
That's fair.
That's true.
That's fair. You're right.
It might be the one and only time.
The one and only time.
We only did it once. You're right. There's no repeat.
There's no repeat on that canyon.
But call us for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Someone from the family might.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Officer Mitchell, thank you so much for being on our podcast. We really appreciate it.
Yes,
and again, thank you for all you do for our community. It really is inspiring. So if you guys follow St. George PD on Instagram, do you have your own?
I do. Me
Instagram?
personally?
Yeah. What handle is that?
I'll tell you off air.
Yeah, we just meant
not for the police department. Do you have your own where you do things like the people?
Not my personal.
Gotcha.
No, I've got my personal in the PD. I was like, you want me to give my personal?
No, sorry.
I'm not that interesting. I promise.
I just didn't know if you had other handles that you wanted people to like.
Just the St. George Police Department.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So follow and Traffic Tuesdays. They're amazing. Hopefully, people, you don't need us. Hopefully, you don't need to call the police. But if you do, feel comfortable to always call the police. Please do that. Leave early, slow down. We always say that. We mean it. Hopefully, they never need to call us. We really mean that too. Like we said, that probably may not ever change. Thank goodness, because our families need that to some degree.
Job security.
But leave early, slow down, and subscribe, follow, share. Thank you again. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thanks.